Yo, what's going on, ILoveBasketballTv? In today's video, we're going over and breaking down 3 elite dribble combinations that will help you break any defender that steps in front of you. And trust me, the last one is going to completely destroy anyone who has enough confidence to step up and guard you. Each of these moves are going to be classified as a double crossover, so you're just taking 2 moves and you're putting them together, kind of like one big move. So the first move we're diving into is the Hardaway crossover from Tim Hardaway Sr. The essential bare bones of this crossover is just an easy between the leg dribble and then cross the ball back over in front. But what makes this move elite is your ability to change pace, change height, and then also be able to shift. That's what's going to be able to break your defender so you can get by or even break their ankles, right? So if I just stand here and I just dribble the ball between my legs and cross over, I'm not actually going to be able to get somebody with this move because I'm not shifting, I'm not giving them any indication I'm trying to get by them in any sort of way. So when it comes to our change of pace, we want to be able to go from slow to fast. It's too easy to guard somebody who plays at one speed. So if they're only playing fast, you know how to stop that. Just back up because you know where they're going. If they're playing slow, you can try to speed them up and it's easy to stop them because you can kind of get physical with them. But when you change speeds, this is when you can throw that defender off. So if you're dribbling the ball up nice and slow, but then you drop quick, and then you get into a quick double crossover, now the defender is going to bite on that first move. They're going to jump out of your way, and then you can explode out after that crossover. So one easy way that you guys can help train that change of speed with this move is just simply staying stationary, taking one dribble, letting that ball float. So it's not a quick pound. You're trying to get the ball come back up quick, right? You're trying to let that ball just hang in your hand. It's a slow dribble, nothing fast. But then after you let that ball hang, then you drop fast into that between cross. So it's one slow dribble here and then drop and then go between. You can switch this up if you want. Maybe take a slow crossover in front and then drop and then go between the legs. So you can mix it up however you want, but you really want to start off with just one slow dribble and then quickly go with that between crossover. Our second way to level up this move is to simply change heights. Nobody plays basketball the entire game down in this position nice and low. You're gonna be standing up at some point in time. Maybe you're walking the ball down the floor and you're setting up a play. Maybe the ball swung to you, you're catching it and you're looking for an action to happen and you're not necessarily down low in that triple threat. Sometimes you're gonna be up tall. So when you're up tall, you're probably gonna be playing slower. This is when you can add that change of pace into it. So you're slow up top, but then you drop quick right into that between cross. So being able to go from this upright position down low. Now you also don't need to be standing straight up the entire time with your knees locked. You can be at a simple bend. So you're kind of in a quarter squat position, but then you drop even lower and then get into that move. Now, a lot of people sometimes confuse the ability to get low with just only bending their knees, right? So if you've ever had a coach tell you to get low and you start in this position and all you did was do this, that's not all of what getting low means. Sometimes low means shoulders, right? So you'll see often Kyrie gets into this position to where his shoulders are leaning forward and his hips are back and his knees are bent at the same time. So he's not just dropping his knees forward, keeping his chest up. You'll see often James Harden gets into that same position where he's low with his shoulders and his knees are dropped too. So being able to get in this position is super important for getting low. So a good drill to help you guys work on getting low with your shoulders, hips, and knees all at the same time is just floor taps. So you're staying stationary right here. You can even add in that change of pace, right? Take that slow bounce, let it hang, and then when you drop with the between the legs, take your hand, touch near that opposite foot. So if the ball is in my left hand, I drop, touch near my right leg, and then cross the ball back over. What these floor taps force you to do is force you to get that shoulder leaning forward, right? But also bend at the hips and knees. If I only bend at my back, I'm not gonna be able to reach the floor. If I only bend at my knees, I'm gonna be really uncomfortable to get to the floor. So I have to do everything, right? I have to push my hips back, I gotta drop my knees, and I gotta drop that shoulder forward so I can work on getting into that correct position, and now I'm crossing that ball back over. So with our second dribble combo, this is not a specific set of moves, but more of a pattern that you guys can follow. So what it is it's a pullback into a crossover and then blow by. So what you do is you blow by the person, you give them a move, and you attack that hip. right? So now you get them to turn and then you stop really fast. That's when they go sliding. That's your pullback. So you pull that ball back, whether it's between your legs, in front of you, behind your back, whatever it is. Now that space has been created. They want to close that space because now they're afraid of you knocking that shot down. And then you cross the ball back over, break their ankles, and now you blow right by. So like I said, this is more of a pattern, not a specific set of moves. So you can get into this in any kind of way. Maybe you're in triple threat and you rip and then you blow by that person. Maybe you hit them with that Tim Hardaway crossover that we broke down earlier. Between cross and blow by, they try to slide. Then you stop, hezzy, and then you blow right past them again. So you're getting into this move however you want, but remember, it's a pattern. It's pull back and then to that hezzy blow by. So a common pair of moves that you guys will see put together for this pattern is an under drag and to kind of like a push cross, right? So you get into that under drag, that's your quick stop that allows that defender to slide. Your ball comes back, your hand goes to the basketball like you're gonna hezzy into that shot. Remember, your hand that's on the ball should be on the side. You never want to go underneath because that's that carry. So you under drag, hand on the side, lift up, and then you push that ball back out nice and low, and then you blow by. That's a common pair of moves that are put together for this pattern. So when it comes to the details of this move, we really want to pay attention to the pace of how we put these two together, right? We don't want to rush these things because it's really not going to work out if we rush the two moves together. So if we get into our under drag, but then we quickly cross the ball back over because we're rushing, we're almost going to run back into that defender because we're not even giving the defender enough time to close back out and try to stop the shot. We're just running back into them. So what we want to do is be able to stop fast here, let that ball float and hang for a good second, let them close, and then drop and get back into that crossover. So we don't want to rush everything together. So an easy drill to help you guys kind of rep out this pattern is just simply get nice and low, rip into that first under drag, get that hezzy, and then push out, and then just redo it again. So you're just turning back around, going a different direction, maybe going the same way for a specific number of times. Doesn't really matter, but you definitely want to get both ways. So you're just ripping, getting into that drag, and then pushing out, and then just redoing it over again. So with our last dribble combo, essentially the bare bones of this move is just a double crossover in front. But the effectiveness of this crossover lies within the footwork details of this move. Let's dive into it. So how you set this move up is you just start off with one dribble and a lift. So you're lifting to the side. You guys can add a crossover to this if you want to kind of switch things up, but it's not necessary, right? So if you can cross and lift, it's up to you, but you guys can keep it in one hand if you want. So you're staying nice and low. Dribble and skip. Once we land, this is where that first crossover comes in handy. So let's say we dribbled and skipped, we landed, now I cross the ball over, now I want to run, right? This is where the footwork details come in handy. So I'm crossing the ball over, that same leg, so let's say the ball's in my right, my left leg crosses my body, that's my cross step, I stop on that outside leg, and now I get into that second crossover to shift and then blow by, right? The reason why this move is so deadly is because of that first crossover. When I cross and I run, that forces that defender to slide and try to cut me off. Because if they don't, I'm just gonna take off and go right by them. Their coach is gonna get mad, yell, take them out, right? So when I cross the ball over, I'm 1-2, that gets in the slide, and now I'm going back this way. So this is somewhat of a pre-planned move, but like I said, the fundamental footwork really is important, and you have to sell that first drive, right? So it's cross, skip, cross, run, quick 1-2, and then crossing, and now you're taking them off. So last detail with this move I kind of want to dive into, similar to how I told you guys you can switch the start of the move up. So instead of just dribbling and skipping, you guys can cross and skip. You guys can switch that last crossover up as well. So let's say I want to cross and skip first here, then I cross and run. I can switch this move up to where I don't have to cross the ball over in front, because maybe let's say that defender's too close, I can go behind my back. So when I cross, I can stop here and then wrap behind my back. It's the same footwork of me running into it, right? 1-2, but then I just wrap and go behind. I can also spin off of it as well. So I can cross here, plant, and then I can spin into that move too. So I can switch a couple of these moves up in the pattern. So now the move stays a little fresh, and now the defender doesn't read it the same way every single time, but essentially the pattern is the same. Skip, cross, run into it, 1-2, and then change direction and blow by. I would encourage you guys to add at least one of these moves to your game as quick as possible. You guys don't need to worry about trying to add all three at the same time, but at least one will definitely level up your guys' attack style handle. Like I said, if you guys want to learn more about your attack handle or even all the other three handle types, just go down to the pinned comment down below, take that free handle type quiz, and get a free workout.